channel regarding intent. Do you think there was intent when the universe sourced, when the universe expanded, when the universe responded, when the universe choreographed, when the universe delivered? The intent component is rarely considered. Many considered it is an occurrence, an happening, merely happens, and this can be so. With some things, of course, things can happen. You do not intend everything to happen, and there are occurrences, but with the levels of one happening connected to another, connected to another, connected to another, was there a variable of intent that was produced at one point with the ripple effect and the cascading of connection points to say there was no intent in the variables at all? Overall, what is most useful for you and your journey in intent, and why we started bringing your attention to whether or not there was intention at sourcing, and what is the difference for your understanding of occurrences and happenings versus intent. With an intent, there is still a reaction, a correspondence, as we indicated, variables and things occurring. And without intent, you would so entertain, there is also happenings. But within the appearance of lack of intent, there is intent somewhere. That seems a vast concept for your journey forward, but it is correlating in the following manner. For the intentional aspects of the things you hold at high regard and the things you hold at high regard, you may set intent. It may not be worded in a way that is ceremonial or flowery, but there is a thought intent, and an intent indeed there is. But for the other aspects that you do not set intent, at least knowingly, for many things you are moving through, you are doing things, and your thoughts are not focused on what you are doing, and their intent is considered not needed, for it is a small occurrence. Then we would invite you to consider that even the small occurrences have intent, but this is the difference. The difference is that those which are stated more clearly, the highly defined or even moderately defined or even minorly defined, the results are vastly different. For that which is spoken with clear intent and that which is thought of with clear intent will have shall we say, a vaster impact, a shorter impact. We brought the first scenario to your mind about happenings which appear to have no intent, but we are telling you that at one point in all the connection points, one intent was involved in almost every occurrence. And indeed, if that intent was more strongly emanated or more clearly emanated or more impactfully relayed, then the connection point would be shorter. This is our point. Do you understand? That which is spoken with intent is not going to travel out. So this is for your understanding. It is not in actuality. But the variance is that it does travel out, but it is not diluted. The smaller the intention, the more dilution. The longer of the travel point, shall you say, that the intention finds a meeting point to clarify for your functionality of intent is that what is spoken with clearness and focus, and that which you allow to be relayed more fully as your intent. You would say, in a simplified term, vaster and more impact. It is not the further it travels, so to speak. So if your intention is not in your awareness and you are moving along, it will move along too. But without the clear intent, it's moving along, and that has a connection point. Which has a connection point. You may refer to them as a ripple effect. But overall, it is diluted. Those things which you fully clarify with your intention will be not diluted, more impactful, and have a shorter distance, so to speak, for your this analogy. So what would intent be infused in? How much of your daily ongoing capacities and non-monumental aspects of your day that your day is comprised of? What would you set intent for? What you want to be most impactful, but also what you want to have a shorter manifestation period. Even if it is a menial task, would you want it to take longer? What you want to have of high impact, of an emotional value, of consideration of the value of what you are producing, even if that is in your workplace or in your creations. Would it not be more inviting to take a moment to determine with clarity what your intent is? It does allow the outcome to be more succinct with that which you desire. You can utilize this at any amount. Your intentions are there, but look at it in a grain of sand. Would you have a grain of sand be what would be represented by the project you are working on, by the concept or the idea or the reading your child a book at time of slumber? Would it want to be more impactful, more purified with your clarity and focus? This is of truly vast impact. The more and more you employ it, we will rhyme. The more and more you enjoy it, the more and more you partake, the more and more you will see the vast intake and benefits from setting your intention. There are those that have practiced this in the past with vast response. In the history, as you call it, in the times of the past, intention was not taken for granted. It is in what is consumed with the busyness of your day that it seems not to be employed. We must say that from our perspective, the vast majority of your species are reacting or responding at whims, twirling and twisting as things are shuffled in front of them to be consumed and be delivered and be sometimes ravaged. But with intent of those in the past, they created and found come to fruition many things of grand, many monumental and some even microscopic, shall we say, but of intent has the vastest impact. In our realm, intent is, you would say, your receivings from another when you are communicating, when you are in a collaboration, you are receiving information in your ears and you are observing things with your eyes. But it is in our realm of a different communication mode of thought patterns and waveforms, we will say, that our intent is not hidden. For there are things that are considered private, but of intent, it has been found that the hiding of intentions and non-disclosure has led to much, shall we say, chaos. And we are not of chaos. Intentions are, would you say, worn on our sleeves. Thus, it is highly regarded when intentions are well planned, well placed, and thoroughly known. You would say in your realm and of the visual, ones are judged of their attire. In ours, we would say it is of intention. Thus, it has expanded more and more, and we are all benefiting from each other's intentions. It is not only for the one sourcing the intention, but you know. But it serves all. Consider your intentions are as they are a rusty tool for many of you, and you will become more and more fluid and fluent in your intentions, and you will clearly see the dichotomy, the contrast of the of when you do and when you don't. It is a simple form of clearly arriving at your intended realization. No matter what it be, a project or a task, a goal, or a simple trick, anything, what is your intention? It will provide vibrance and outcomes of your desires, because they are no longer desires. They are what you intend. Intend well.